This is the legendary Adams, small scythe in hand and ready to battle. This is FC Adams, small and compact with the same menace, but obviously much stronger. But this is a strong indication that we need to check on the condition of the devs. Bot Laser is definitely on the loose. We need a BDA as soon as possible. These guys are in danger. I mean, well, maybe they're not. Maybe the deal has already been done, possibly with the devil. But Bot Laser has clearly have some type of influence on the dev team. This is very concerning, and I need all of your help to find both Bot Laser, to put him in custody, and also to find the devs that they are unharmed in any way, shape, or form. Or this is just a joke, and I just thought I'd give a shout out to Bot Laser because I know the boys probably super duper happy. But let's go into this because you guys know I don't cover every single core reverse, but this is a momentous occasion for a frequent commenter and viewer. We had to do it up. So without further ado, skidamarinky dinky do, let's get into it. As you guys saw, core reverse chants up the cutting Adams. Hope you guys got the Goku Super Saiyan thing. I was trying to mix it up there without going too crazy with the editing and stuff like that. But I really wanted to, when I saw this, I was like, I wonder how happy this guy is. If you guys don't know, I think another reason why I wanted to do this video is that I really do pay attention to a lot of comments. I really recognize names. A lot of people remember that also when I would do Twitch, I would stream for hours and hours and hours and days, months and years. And then people would come back and they would say, hey, do you remember me? And I'd be like, yeah, of course I do. Even sometimes when I switch up games and stuff like that, I will remember faces and name, well, not faces, mostly names, screen names and stuff like that, how people act and things like that. So if you're a dick, I will remember that you're a dick. But when you're not a dick and you're a cool ass person, you know, I will remember you. So this is for Bot Laser. Let's see if they did the boy justice here. Did they bring FC Adams into a, you know, somewhat into the meta? Now, as far as I've seen so far, the core versions have been pretty doo-doo, but at least most of them have been somewhat interesting. They're interesting, but a lot of them aren't meta breaking. They're not going to be as good as a gold, but they usually what it is, it's like if you have some type of investment into the character, it's going to be somewhat decent. So Bot Laser's FC Adams is probably going to be, you know, one-shotting people and things of that nature. So let's just go all the way. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Shelter Investigator. They need to, I mean, there's so much they need to do. Is there really a point of me pointing out one specific thing? But yes, I do think that they need to redo like all these because they're pretty much irrelevant. You don't need bonus damage on things that you pretty much can get your CP up to just auto at this point. So they really should take all those characters that have that ability and like put them into something else. Like honestly, yes, they do help out people in the early game, but it's all a CP thing, you know. The Heart Strike is still there. We all know how that works. I kind of wonder if they'll do that differently. You know, that'd be pretty interesting. When a target, oh, what? Did they? Oh, baby. What is that? When a target marked with charm is taking damage over time, deals 30% additional damage has been added to the Crushing Shadow skill. So the Crushing Shadow is the S1. And so they're giving him synergy. Oh, wow. But that's, Jim was like, what up, man? What happened? Giving him some synergy, so which is really strange. Like this doesn't, I'm confused. So when a target is marked with charm and has a DOT, which that's kind of how they should have put it, that's written very weirdly. So it's like when the target is marked with charm, is taking damage over time, deals 30% additional damage. It's just written terribly. I think that that's probably the worst written. Like, it does that mean that if they get hit with that skill, that each time the damage over time ticks, that they then take 30% additional damage? Or is it only when that skill hits it just does 30% additional damage if they have a damage over time? That actually somewhat needs to be tested because the way it's written is horrid. That is one of the worst, definitely one of the worst like translations I've ever seen. But I'm assuming, my assumption is that they have to be charmed, have a damage over time on top of them, and then Adams will hit them for 30% additional damage on the skill. which is not necessarily hard to do. Charm is something that happens immediately, and we can also read down here that they also have it on this skill as well. But charm happens immediately into the fight, and then damage over time, it doesn't say that, you know, it has to be Janai's damage over time, so you could do that. It's still a liability. People are still running Rera, and Zion blah, is also coming into the meta pretty strongly again, at least in my level, and I think in higher levels too, because of Lenombros or Lenombres and luchadors, whatever the heck you guys want to call them, but they're kind of going in there because of the whole thing with Rachel getting such a great boost and actually having a good way to kind of eliminate targets very quickly. So I'm seeing Xeon a little bit more, FC Xeon to be specific. So giving a damage over time is a liability, even if it's not on the actual first Guardian unit. If it's in their row, they're going to be stacking up the Dragon Blood. So, but this is also supposed to be somewhat of a counter to that, you know, this character would be able to instantaneously burst that character even in the state that they're getting a shield or something of that nature. And we all know that there's, you know, with shields come great responsibilities, because you have characters that pretty much strip the shield. I think there's 2 of them. It's Iris, and isn't there another one? Well, Iris, and then you have Shell, who's also part of Janai's comp, which would negate the barrier. And I don't know about speed. I think Adams is definitely faster than Shell is, but you know, at least there's some type of synergy going on there, so you can kind of run Janai, Shell, and then possibly FC Adams, and you have this you know, this crazy kill instant kill combo, because that is kind of what the game needs. This is at least a better buff in my opinion, as far as it comes down to actually having relevancy. Ways to break down the hyper defensive meta in PvP is, I'm really good about that. I really like that's where they're going. But I also have to mention that this is not that bad also in PvE, as long as you can charm something. There are some times where you can get it off, and so as they keep rising the bar, right, of these characters' ability, like the higher the signature force goes, the higher they allow you to like stack these buffs and stuff like that. Some of these units are getting close to 10k attack, so they might actually be able to put charm and things like that on some PvE bosses. So I'm interested to see that. I think that's pretty cool. His weapon looks pretty nice, and you know, if people are really interested in that, I'm definitely not. 19, he's also 19. Again, just so you guys are 100%, we are both on the same page. MFO is that I don't think you summon for a character like this. You 100% this is a core reverse that kind of blesses those that already have. I think most of us are on the same page as that. I'm just saying it for, you know, just if people want to know, because I always get that question, should I summon? And usually it's like, no, you usually don't want to summon, especially with a character like this. Is pretty much like a, you know, FC Valentina kind of thing. It's like you kind of need charm in order for this to even be relevant. So if you don't have a built up Janai, there's really no reason for you to summon this, especially because I'll tell you right now, even in my level, the people are really difficult, or because they're around my level, right? So I'm fighting people that I should have a struggle with, and it's an interesting fight, which is technically good, but you do have to be mindful that you do need a decently strong Janai in order to charm people, because her base attack is not that high, so you have to put a lot of investment into her. But that's gonna be it for me. Just wanted to touch on that. Congratulations to Laser, that is the bot. And we should be seeing very soon, in a couple days, the whole thing with the Easter. I'm pretty sure that whole debacle is going to come out. So what I'll be suggesting for you guys to do is to start saving, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, so you can get to the core raid, get in and out. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and just remember that every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.